Hi everyone, and welcome to our Parent Connect. Today we are going to talk about art at home. So I first wanted to give people the opportunity. We originally do this Parent Connect on Zoom, and so I just wanted to give a space for people to talk about what art they're already doing at home. And so just think about some of the things, maybe you can add them in the comment section on our YouTube channel of things that you do at home that's fun with your kids considering art. I know some examples that I've used before or I've heard from other parents are at home idea. We brought some snow in and they painted with the snow. So they took some watercolor and they got the paintbrush wet with the snow and then they colored the snow different colors. So that's kind of something fun to do considering arts. All right. Next, I wanted us to do a quick activity. And what I want you to do is to find something that you have close to you, any kind of object. And it could be something like a toy, a piece of paper, a crayon. And what we're going to do in this activity is pretend that we are in our kids' brain or kind of taking their perspective on how they explore different objects. And so I have here a piece of paper or a little sticky notes. And what I want you to do with your object is just think of how your child might explore it. So for example, if I were to give this to my kiddo, I probably would think that maybe they would notice the color of the paper, maybe say that it's pink. Or another kind of perspective taking is to just see how you're exploring the object. So what are you noticing about the toy or object that you're playing with? There's a ripped part of the paper, and I think that my kids would definitely continue to rip the paper. They might grab a pencil and start jotting on it. Actually, I just noticed too with this, I noticed the sticky part on the back of the paper. Sometimes kids with paper, I know like younger kids, they'll crumble it up. And so I just want you to kind of maybe pause the video here and explore your toy or object. Just kind of taking mental notes, or you can write it down on ways that you think your child would explore that certain thing. And when you come back, we, again, just kind of thinking about taking your child's perspective and how they might go about exploring things and how they kind of navigate their world. I really like this activity just because it kind of gives us some insight on how kids are working on things, especially when it's coming to art and that sort of thing. The next thing I wanted to talk about was things that you can find in your home that you can do with or making art. And so I first have here a water bottle. A lot of times I will use my recyclable bin as art tools. So actually we just did at my house, we used a water bottle and we cut it in half. And we still had the top of the water bottle. It was kind of like the handle. And we painted the water bottle. The kids, I think the example that I had found online was like a shark. We kind of made the grooves around the top of the water bottle to look like a shark. And then, so after they got done painting it, the activity to kind of do with the water bottle is we got a little ball, or I think we used like a Nerf ball. And we just practiced throwing and trying to catch the ball with the water bottle. So that was kind of a fun activity. Some other things that you could maybe try with materials around your house. I have some pictures here of that kind of looks like frosting, but we'll use Cool Whip. We've done this at Playgroup before where we use the Cool Whip and you can dye it different colors. That's kind of fun for the kids to do. A lot of times we will put some Cool Whip on a plate and we can kind of just have the kids feel the different kind of texture that Cool Whip has, or we can make letters or shapes. I know a lot of kids work on shapes. And then one last thing, actually, I have a little picture of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And this is something that we had tried on a virtual visit too, having the kids spread peanut butter onto bread. And so that was kind of fun. They used a spoon or like a plastic knife and tried it. It's a lot of coordination to kind of like hold the bread and put the peanut butter on the bread. And while we were doing that, we talked about, you know, making a face. Where would you put the eyes using the peanut butter? So this is all part of everyday things that you can do considering art. And I'm sure you guys have lots of other ideas too. So yeah, this is my next slide. How can art be helpful to young children? Why is it so important that we're talking about art? And what does it kind of mean to introduce art at a very young age? And so one thing to kind of think about is giving a child different sensory explorations or opportunities. So with the example of the snow, you know, the kids can feel that it's cold. It's a different texture than maybe most things. I put on here sensory soothing. So sometimes when we're doing kind of different art projects, you know, I think of when a child has like a blanket that has that silk feeling, and that can kind of be soothing to them. And so that's another benefit of trying different art activities. Also, I never thought of this, but this kind of came to mind for me today when art is definitely a way that we can express ourselves. And so maybe I know with the birth to 3 age group, they're not always verbal or have a lot of language. They definitely are communicating with us by crying or kind of taking us to where their needs, like taking us to the fridge if they want something to drink. So that's communication, but maybe not just having the language yet. And so art can provide that for them as far as, you know, drawing different things that maybe they're thinking about and not necessarily be able to say. So it's definitely a way that they can express themselves too. So that's an added benefit when introducing art to the young kiddos. On my last slide here, I just wanted to talk about our next Parent Connect. And actually this is something new we're gonna try. We're gonna have a story and music movements. So this is focused more for the kids, and also obviously the parents are going to join as well. And so this will be in 2 weeks at 9:30 on a Wednesday. So it's February 24th. And there's the link there, but you can always ask your home visitor for the link too. It kind of makes it easier when you can just click the link. So thank you all for joining, and you all have a great day.